Brosplay.
Hey, welcome back. Still me, still yellow purple dragon. Totally forgot about that thing that I was saying about this. Like I forgot that I was calling it a yellow purple dragon.
Yellow purple dragon.
Yeah.
Purple yellow
I
dragon.
don't know how I'm supposed to get up, other than doing this wacky shit. How?
There was just no jump there. I feel like if you had a jump, you might have cleared that fence.
Maybe.
Because if you clear that fence, we can figure out what's on the other side, even though I feel like it's nothing special.
No, we already been to that part of the level.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with it? That like
Oh,
weird
yes.
green thing?
Yes, this is it. That's it right there.
Those green faces? Or that green thing?
No, I'm supposed to jump around and use the momentum to jump. over
Really?
it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I remember watching a run through of it, and it was like, it was the PS1 version too, so the game was running at like the worst frame rate ever, and I was like, how the fuck are you controlling that?
Yeah, and how do you figure that shit out?
You're a maniac. No, Spyro!
Really? That's the ramp you have to go off? That is insane.
Maybe. I might have jumped wrong there. That was really weird.
Maybe you just need to get a little higher up before you make that jump.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll try a few more times. Then, oh, because you're on 0 lives.
Oh yeah, I guess if this doesn't work, we'll just move on, because I'm not a fucking maniac. Woo! We did it.
Oh shit!
We had one chance, and we did it.
Look at that, brother.
And we got Jed.
Good job, Jed.
Fucking Jed, mate.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
that's a big boy.
Jed's got a face. He's got a lot of eyes too.
He's the clown of the dragon world.
Yes.
Jed has an unusual face, so we immortalized him with our fireplace mantles.
You almost rhymed that.
Did I?
Jed had an odd face, so we immortalized him with the fireplace.
Oh. Okay. I could have even said Jed had an enormous head, so there's lots of...
Jed, yo, it's got Jed and he's got a head. He's
Yo,
over
man,
here
time for me to Jed.
getting shred, eating shreddies.
Are we leaving now, or are we getting the rest of them crystals?
I figured.
Because there's 5 hundo here.
Is there?
Yeah. Okay, how do we get up there to that spot at the end of the level that's elevated?
Oh yeah.
So that's definitely something that I would be willing to die for.
I hit him. Why was there an invisible wall there? Were you worried I was gonna run up the wall? Oh, sad dragon.
Oh no, we have to get reignited.
Oh no.
It'd be hilarious if somebody actually just took a Zippo and put it to him, and then he just bursts into flames again. We just need a little
at
flame.
the end of a dragon's life, he ignites himself on fire. Self-immolation is a pure death.
Wouldn't it be sweet if dragons were kind of like phoenixes?
Phoenixes?
Phoenices?
Phoenix.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Ah! You guys are coordinated.
These the thunder hammers.
They don't do this. Wow.
That was uncomfortable.
They don't do this thing, this overworld level thing after this game, and it bugs the shit out of me.
It's too bad. It was such a great idea.
Yeah, in the later levels, there's just these two fucking, like, cat assholes who just, like, stand next to stuff, and when you come by, they're like, "Hey, Spyro, did you know if you jump, that you will jump?" And I'm like, yeah, man, I had to jump to fucking get here, you douchebag.
You mean later in this game?
No, in the second game.
Oh, okay.
The overworlds are just filled with these fucking dicks who tell you about stuff that you already know because you did it to get there.
So it's not an overworld level the same way this is, where it's like the same as everything else. It's the same as every world inside the overworld.
I can't process like words right now.
You just try to figure out where we're going.
So
All right, let me tell you and the good people about Ocean's 8 then.
that's so funny.
What?
I was just about to bring that up because the slapping bass in this reminded me of the bass from Ocean's 8.
The bass.
Like the music.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
like-
you've seen it then.
Just like the boom, bam, bam,
So what were your thoughts?
well, I mean, when when I saw the poster for it, I just hope that this like making a movie about women for the sake, I just don't like that. I feel like it's like an unnecessary thing to do, and I also kind of feel like it's condescending to women to just be like, we know you need all women in this for you to enjoy it.
Yeah,
otherwise
here's your movie now.
Yeah, it's a man's movie if men are in it. It's like, well, that's just not the truth. But anyway, cast was really good. I felt like they somehow managed to have less character development for 8 characters than Ocean's 11 had for 11 characters, which I thought was really odd.
Yeah,
There were some really great moments, but it more felt like they were replicating the old ones instead of actually setting their own space.
That was my ultimate problem with it, is that it just wasn't as good as the other ones.
Yeah, and so like Ocean's 11 for me was the best one. I would say that this one's probably about as good as the 13. But what I like about the first one is that they explain some things to you, but they keep the audience in the dark about a lot of stuff, and that makes it interesting for us because we're sort of reacting the way that other people are reacting to their plan, and I like that. And in this, they hold things back, but it's not from you, it's from the fucking other characters. It's like at the end where it's like, why is our cut so much bigger than the cost of the thing we stole? And it's like, oh, we actually stole a whole bunch of other things we didn't tell you we were stealing. You, the people in our crew that we're trusting to not rat us out to the police.
What's that called?
What?
When something just comes totally out of nowhere and doesn't make any sense.
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, and I personally felt like that's what it was.
It didn't even make any sense. There was no reason for them to have stolen more than what they were going for. They were already going for $150 million. It's like the characters didn't need to do any more, and I felt like the movie was way too smooth. The characters had almost no obstacles. Like every so often something would kind of go off the rail, and it would go right back on there with no fucking problem. And in the other Ocean's movies, like real shit happens. Like in the 3rd movie, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this.
Well, yeah.
I think I'm supposed to jump in there and jump off, but I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like in 11, the one guy gets like a sweaty hand and he can't remember where he's going. In 13, the factory making the dye goes on strike. Like there's so many obstacles the characters have to overcome.
Well, a big part of the problem with this one, I think, was they spent so much time just getting you used to like the crew that they kind of wasted a bunch of time. Whereas in Ocean's 11, they assemble their crew in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
And you get used to the crew through the job.
Yes, exactly.
And I also felt that at the end, when they show all the characters and how they're going to spend their money, I thought that was about as high school as you can get with your editing style. Like that was like one of the worst ways to end a film. It actually was great right until it like for some reason shows how these characters spent their money.
Yeah, that was really
like
weird.
They don't do that in the Ocean's movies.
Yeah, they all walk off into the sunset.
Exactly. In fact, they make a joke in the second film where all of them spent their unbelievable amount of money.
Yeah, they all blew it.
Yeah, which is like a joke about it. Like with these characters, like they seem very reasonable and moderate, and I almost wonder if like it's just supposed to be some sort of joke about how like women are better with money or something. Like that's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like it was supposed to be a statement about women, and I don't think it should have been.
I also only felt that there was 2 characters that were appropriate, that fit the bill. Like Sandra Bullock did a great job.
Yeah, she was good.
And the person who was supposed to be her Dusty, who I believe is Cate Blanchett, did a great job as well. I felt like those 2 characters were rock solid. I was pretty impressed with Rihanna.
Yeah,
I thought
she did all right.
She played the role well, but I think the role was shit.
Yes.
Yes, so I was impressed with Rihanna, but not with that character. I think the Asian character was probably the laziest character that I've ever seen written. And Mindy Kaling isn't a character, it's a person.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Was she called Mindy in this movie too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
but she was Mindy Kaling. There was no character.
I thought it was like there was some clever parts to it, but I felt like it like everything went way too smoothly, and they kind of made it seem like they actually no, they pretty heavily implied that it was totally cool to set people up to go to jail if they did it first.
Yeah, is it not though? Because
I don't think he set her up though, did he? I think he just ratted her out.
No, big time.
Did he actually? Okay.
Well, so he told her to sign it because he had a suspicion they were cops, and then when the cops busted her, he said it was all her idea and he had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So yeah, he definitely sent her. What is a little different about it though is that she was involved. She did do it.
Right.
Whereas he had nothing to do with the thing she framed him for. So that is a little weird.
So he basically just sent her to jail for something they actually did.
Yes. Whereas she sent him to jail for something she did.
There's a part in I think, is it called The Kingdom? What the fuck is that movie?
So.
It's a TV show. Anyway, there's a part where our main character, Uhtred, son of Uhtred, father
Fallen
of
Kingdom,
Uhtred,
yeah.
brother of Uhtred. Anyway,
Descendant of Uhtred.
Holy fuck. He goes off and does something he really shouldn't be doing to make a bunch of money for no reason, and then he gets caught doing it, and they sort of make it seem like it's not okay. And it's like he did do that. We just saw a whole episode of him going off and doing that thing for no reason and then killing people we don't know, and we're supposed to just be okay with it. And then he's all mad that somebody ratted him out. It's like, yeah. All of that was like totally in line.
Yeah, that's how it should go, bro.
Like, I don't know why you're mad. Like you're mad like it shouldn't have happened.
Dude, is this a boss fight?
I guess so. It's about as close as they get to boss fights, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it's creative, and nobody stopped me to tell me that maybe green is a good time to fucking go. Like, sorry, colorblind people.
What in the fuck is going on here? This is neat.
He's a robot.
It's very neat. Yeah, so...
Have I told you about robots before?
I did not know that robots were a thing.
Really?
I was unaware.
I don't know what the ro part is for. Maybe bot is the short form of robot? We can never know.
That's a good question. What is there any root words to that? Robot?
Yeah, because people are like, get out of here, robo. That's like a derogatory term for robots. Wow, so I just straight up killed that guy.
Wow, what a terrible enemy.
I got a skill, apparently. Alright. Skill points don't do anything. They are just bragging rights.
Well, neither did that boss. What the fuck was that?
Well, that was the kind of the point. He wasn't really supposed to be a boss so much.
Yeah, but I feel like you actually would have been better to have 2 doors that you had to break all of the things for. Wouldn't that have made more sense?
Yeah.
Well, I just got excited and now I'm really disappointed. Because I really thought we were going to fight that guy. I thought we were going to have to, you know, headbutt him in the junk and then, like, burn him when he falls over or something.
Welcome to my AAA gaming experience.
Oh, I know.
I get so excited for games, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. They don't make good games anymore.
That's not true.
I know. It's an exaggeration.
Sekiro was half decent.
Sounded like you'd pulled one over on me there. Half! What is that?
Look at that. Little butt. Little boop boop. Little shoot boop.
The way his body contracts and expands reminds me of a rabbit, like the way a rabbit runs.
Oh.
Because they kind of do that, like their front end goes forward and then the back end comes up to meet it, and then the front end goes forward and then the back end comes up to meet it.
I don't know where the map button is.
Metalheads.
I love cooking me some metalhead. Yeah, I mean, we've already abandoned the Hundo P, so
yeah,
that's fine.
Metalheads, agent. Maybe I'm mixing some things up there.
Angry and angry your way. You know what else I saw? Black Klansman, which I thought was a comedy because that's how they marketed it. In retrospect, I realized that would have been a really offensive comedy, but it's a very serious film about racism in the 70s.
Is it dramatized?
Yes, well, yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing that never happened, or I guess according to the film, it's a thing that was scrubbed from the record. but it's about the first.
Sorry.
But this little like.
Yeah. Can you not jump up there? Oh, I guess you can.
I guess you can. No, you can't jump off that. So it's about the first black detective in Colorado, infiltrating the KKK without any reason to, other than not liking that they're racist. He has no like tips about shit that they're doing. He just like thinks it would be funny if him were to get in there. So he convinces somebody over the phone that he's a white man, but then he needs to go there in person. So he teaches a white detective who plays Kylo Ren,
Okay.
To how to talk like him, so that he can pretend to be him. But then at that point, there's absolutely no reason for the original guy to pretend to be a white guy on the phone, because now you have a guy pretending to be that guy. So, and every problem in the movie stems from the issue of the two of them trying to play the same person with for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. And this film is trying to make a very serious point about racism, and all I was thinking about was how dumb that was and how it made absolutely no fucking sense. But it's a really great movie when you just pretend that all of that didn't happen.
Well, that's
Also, these guys are
significant.
big. These guys are really big.
Wacky arm flailing inflatable tube man. Wacky arm flailing inflatable tube man. Is that doctor gonna shrink him or what?
Someone is eventually. Oh, it's that guy right there.
See, I think he would probably get the same kind of concussions that people who do that headbanging at concerts get.
Maybe.
Where your brain is just being rattled around constantly.
But yeah, anyway, I still recommend Black Klansman. It's a great film.
Just one weird inconsistency.
I mean, yeah, just the entire trigger point and plot of the film doesn't make any goddamn sense. But other than that, just an excellent film. It lowers your guard by making the film set in a time period where you expect racism, and then it just pulls some wacky shit at the end where it's like, oh, you thought this was over? No. And then it shows you I guess current at the time, 2017 KKK rallies and Black Lives Matter protests, and it essentially it sort of like gets you comfortable, but like you feeling that this racism is like separated from you, because it's like, look how long ago this was, what a crazy time, and then it tries to like bring it back and say like, no, it's real and it's still happening. And I thought that was like chilling and kind of beautiful, the way that it deals with like tragedy. And then like just the whole plot of the movie just made no goddamn sense, so it kind of like gets in the way, which is really tough.
And that's why I asked you if it was a dramatization, because just the nature of it, I assumed that it was some sort of documentary piece.
I was thinking that he was like gonna say something like, you know, I can only go there in person like in robes or something, and then I was like, man, that would be a really offensive fucking movie. I'm glad they didn't make it like that. But it's like even the name, like Black Klansman, like that's what it's supposed to be about, and there's no reason for it to be about that. So that it kind of like its plot gets in the way of its message, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Well, and a good example of that. Well, like when your content gets in the way of like what you're trying to say is, I showed you a Brockhampton, I think 2 Brockhampton songs or music videos one time, and one has one of the guys like in a bathtub filled with Cheerios, and the song is very serious, but you were just like, what the fuck is that guy doing? So like you weren't paying attention to what he had to say, and like that part of the song is a very important, like the whole song it has a very important message, and that part is about like forgiving his family for not accepting that he wanted to risk everything to do this huge thing in his life, but all someone can see is that he's just in a tub full of Cheerios. Whereas in another example, there's a song all about like the darker side of love, and they recorded the whole thing in black and white and slowed everything down with the person singing. And that is a visual representation of the song, about waiting for somebody to be interested in you that you're interested in now. So it's just like two, the same group of people making stuff, completely different approaches and different results.
Yeah, I find that the doing something ridiculous and over the top should really be reserved for a moment where your message is least powerful.
Like in a Ninja Sex Party video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's funny, so you're supposed to be watching funny shit.
Yeah, it's a fine line to walk. So this is right now when season 8 of Game of Thrones is coming out. And have you seen online that people have started to release no context, no spoiler photos of the episodes?
That sounds hilarious.
So it'll just be nice. So it'll just be 4 photos they've found that if you look at them will strongly remind you of the episode if you've seen it. But if you haven't, it's not going to. So,
I have seen one. It was like Brienne smiling weird.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest smile she has in the whole series.
Okay, so what these people did is they just posted a picture of Ellen DeGeneres being knighted. Right? It's so perfect. Oh my god. Oh, I love the creativity that you see on the internet these days.
Yeah, I've been watching memes recently. Like I got into Vines for a while, but Vine is gone. So there's a finite amount of good ones. So eventually I just kind of like got to the end and was like, yeah, well, I have seen the good ones and the rest are terrible. So now I'm onto memes, which is just such a an open format. It can be anything.
Oh yeah, well that'll never dry up.
That's like, it's so hit and miss too, though. Like the biggest thing, and we've talked about this before, cut it short. Basically everything can be cut short. Like it's amazing how it's amazing how much is like unnecessarily long. Like just an extra little like part of a joke that someone thinks is necessary that actually kills the momentum of the joke.
That's it, man. When it kills the momentum, that is the worst part.
Especially when the joke's been made. Like it's just, it's something funny, like I don't know, a bear riding a horse. And it's like, yep, that is funny. And then it just keeps going and nothing changes. There's no variety. There's no additional joke. It's just still the bear riding the horse. And yeah.
Well, to me, it's somewhere along the lines of when somebody says a joke and then looks at you and says, "Do you get it?"
Yeah.
Right? It ruins any joke just by default.
It's
And just in case you're listening, Jontron, you could cut your videos down, and I swear to you, they would be funnier. I really do believe that they would be funnier with a little less in it.
That's funny. I've actually recently decided to stop.
Specifically mentioning people by name,
especially ones that I like. Like, sure, I want people to improve, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna take it that way. I'm not gonna take that jump.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would hope that he tries not to take it any particular way without,
I think he's taken so much shit that I have
exactly
a very you clearly thought that out and you didn't say it with the intention of harming him. So I think that would be, at the very least, he would just say well, I acknowledge what you say.
And this is almost kind of like in real life where I'll be talking too loudly and someone will, say, hey, that person can hear you. But I'm serious. I'm not, like you just said.
Fucking good.
I'm not trying to hurt him. All I'm trying to say is I think this would actually help. And hey, man, you do not have to take advice. Really, ever.
This guy is actually a secret. He lowers a thing off screen. Okay.
Well, that didn't work.
Okay, that guy too. And we gotta and we gotta jump, and he lowers this thing, and that guy's gonna bring me up.
That's what he's for?
Yeah.
Dude. I'm actually really not excited to play the other Spyro games because this one is so. Oh, good. Oh, no. Good. Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty phenomenal.
What's his name?
Unica. What's his name?
Why are so many of the dragons significantly overweight?
Because they're old and shit. Unica.
Unica.
Yeah, so they ditched this whole creative element of showing you cool-ass dragons in the next game, and I think it's just different colored babies. But there's only like 4 character models. I think that's what it is.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Look how creative that is, though. I mean, fucking, like... Don't you just want to hug something for that? Like, I mean, that is just adorable.
This is a great idea.
It just lifts you up for that. Just to come down here and light people on fire in a circular pattern to get money. I mean, is life as a dragon not that simple, right? Collecting gems and I'm falling around with my dragonfly friend. He's grabbing my orbs. I wish he wouldn't fucking do that. But I kind of need him to survive, so...
When it comes to a sequel, I feel like there's a fine line between just releasing more episodes of the first game and not changing too much. Because if you try and completely reinvent yourself for the second game, you could pull a Crackdown 2 and just suck all of the fun out of your game.
Or suck.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you went the opposite way and you just made a new map but literally didn't change anything about the game, you're just like, hey, new places to go play Crackdown 1.
Dude.
That's not really acceptable either.
Far Cry did that.
With what?
Primal is the map from 3.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the same world?
Or it's one... Yeah, Primal was definitely one of them. I forget which one it was, but it was definitely like the game before it. It was the map. Like you can lay them over top of each other, and like the rivers and the crevices and all that shit like line up.
That is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And then like they did that with New Dawn, but at least that one was sold as like it's happening in the same place that the 5th game ended on. Like they're not pretending it's something extra, and I'm pretty sure they even sold it at a lower price because they made it in like a year or something. So, they basically took the old map and they made it like wicked colorful, which is like, why didn't you just do that in the 5th game? Why didn't you just make it colorful? Why everyone's just aiming for photorealism since like 2006. It's like, can we get some goddamn color? This is the most colorful fucking game of 2018, and it didn't even actually come out in 2018. This is just a redo. I think that's just horseshit.
Whoa, that was a lot of points. All I can think about a game like Far Cry is I would rather a new map to new like weapons. I'd rather a new place to explore.
I don't really care so much. I mean, the map is definitely important, but I'm much more concerned about like new elements
and fixing old ones. That's a big one.
Yeah.
You gotta fix the old ones.
And this one's gonna be a shock. It's a P word. It's a very powerful one. A lot of developers have never heard of it before. It's called performance.
I heard that's important to you.
It's kind of fucking important. And I can't believe it's not important, because I guess it's not important. But it's important to me, and I don't think I'm an authority on game design, but like I also am. So
take that.
Listen, buddy. Yeah, you can't make yourself any bigger with your giant fucking crystal dick, can you?
Oh, this is the guy?
This is the fucking
guy.
This is
the guy with the big ol'...
I can actually shoot it at people. Not that that really does anything for me. Maybe. I mean, there might be something, now that I'm thinking about it.
You can make them small. Dude, shoot it at the dragon.
Which dragon?
The turnaround.
Like the one I just released?
The one you're about to release.
That'd be pretty funny if I made him tiny. No,
I
didn't think that one out.
I was hoping you were gonna make him bigger. More than anything.
It'd be great if he came back and he was like, "What the fuck?"
And he's also one of those great big fat ones too, so he just takes up this entire island, pushes you right off into the water.
This is so creative, man. I love it.
A little star over his head.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Next time, floating crystal islands.
Yeah, and cut things short, especially this episode.